would say they're wild or bizarre, or I mean, not wilder than rerouting the river.
I mean, I think a lot of it really does tie back to being grounded in a vision that has consensus, that has buy-in, that people understand.
And so I think the city will have some challenges and maybe some responsibility, I think, in providing mechanisms to allow some of those residents to be able to stay in their neighborhood, right? And that means not just development, but also policies that encourage and incentivize people staying in their neighborhood. And so then I think that the most radical thing that we could propose is to say, no, we're going to reclaim some of these spaces that have a history, and this land that's going to be prime real estate, and give it to the public, and say it's going to be a public park that maybe wraps the around the island. And that may be the most radical thing, even though it's not a building, it's not a crazy idea in terms of form, or it's not spectacle. It's just sort of reclaiming public space for the people. And I think that actually would benefit everybody. It would benefit the people that own properties that are going to develop some of this land. I think agree about TCC, and they should prioritize other things other than just what generates the most amount of money, because ultimately this will generate money anyway.
We're about 175 years old here in Fort Worth, and fully a third of downtown Fort Worth isn't built out. And so we're adding a lot of inventory of developable land that used to be commercial and industrial, and now it's going to be waterfront. And I think it will be extraordinarily attractive. And the people and the new uses and the new users that are going to be coming into Panther Island are going to generate the need for enhanced maintenance and security, and the sorts of things that we do in downtown.
I will say this, and this is, I'm not speaking on behalf of the board. One of our trustees is actually here today, Mayor Barr. But I don't know that money today is the key driver. Our furtherance of that objective is not to take the first developer who comes along, or be worried about that the value might grow later. I mean, we obviously have a fiduciary responsibility to the constituents of Tarrant County College, but I think that this would, having that long-term view is furthers that on their behalf. So.
But we're in a different time, right? Especially in the last 4 or 5 years, after we become a lot more aware about social injustice and social issues. And so we have to look at this through a different lens, maybe through a lens of equity, and that would be justified because our priorities as a society have changed, right? And so we have to say, okay, then what do we need to do for that really benefits most of the people especially in the adjacent communities?
So this idea of Panther Island being a successful residential area, just the idea of it is no longer a wild stretch. It can happen. The question now is, should it happen? Should that be the dominant land use, and should it be in that form necessarily?
And Fort Worth feels welcome. Everyone in Fort Worth feels a reason to go there. It is a place that is helping Fort Worth more broadly, fuel and accommodate the growth that it's already been experiencing.
So like a lot of the other big projects, I mean, DFW Airport, you look at Alliance, I mean, some of that stuff looked bold and crazy and took a lot of time and a lot of public money and a lot of private money.